Hello traders, so today we're going to understand how to use this OCS AI Trader liquidity tracker add-on in sync with our signal generator. So let's start at once. So this is the part and this is the way you should look at the OCS AI Trader whole setup. Now what it is? So it is a signal generator on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it is for confirmation and filtering of wrong signals. And right hand side deals with everything liquidity. So every line and bands which you see over here on this chart is a liquidity. Okay, so red means negative liquidity, that means more sellers are being present over there. Green means positive liquidity, that means more buyers are being present over there. Now coming to this liquidity cycle, now these are the tracks of liquidity in real time. So OCS AI Trader is made on two concepts. Number one is historical analysis and signal generation, and number second is the liquidity track in the real time. So suppose there is a signal on 5 minutes chart of Nasdaq, and there is a signal on the OCS AI trader. So left hand side we are dealing with signal generation, and right hand side we are dealing with filtering. Okay, so on the left hand side we see a signal over here, right? And at the same time there is this candle being formed in the liquidity chart. Now in order to analyze this signal, let us first mark this up. Okay, we have marked this signal over here, and it has been this candle. Okay, now what do you see? What do you see? Okay, so you see two out of three setups of liquidity. Okay, so for number one, number two, and number three. Okay, so you need at least two out of three setups of liquidity. Here what has happened? So one setup is green, right? Okay, checked. This is a positive liquidity over here. This positive band is green color. Number one is satisfied. Number two, this line of liquidity is also green. Okay, yes, checked. This line is also green, and we have satisfied this. Now number three, this line is the resistance liquidity, which is red in color. Okay, so what we see? We see two out of three analysis of liquidity in the upper right hand side to be positive. Okay, positive means buying. So buying means green color. Okay, so green color band number one, green color liquidity line number two, and red color liquidity line number three. Okay, so one, two, three. Okay, so what do you see where the signal has formed? This signal has formed above these two green levels, right? And we need to confirm only two parameters of liquidity out of three. Okay, so this is also a liquidity parameter. We'll come to it. Now what do you see? This trade when it's triggered is a massive trade, right? It's a massive trade when it's triggered, right? Now coming to this point of liquidity, this analysis, this cycle analysis. So this will tell us when we should stay in that trade. So if it is crossed over and it is going in green, we should stay in the trade, and it will also show us divergences in a very clear fashion. Okay, so let's analyze one more signal. We'll be doing signal by signal analysis, whether to take and what signals to take, what not to take. Okay, so coming to this signal, right? I'm also replaying the chart. I'm selecting this part, this signal, and we'll see what will happen. So on the right hand side, what do you see? You see there is a band which is green in color. You see there is this two greens liquidity, which is also green in color. Everything is against it. So this signal might not perform as well, but this signal might not perform as well, and it's better to stay cautious over here, since do this signal have given a positive result. Our target one have been satisfied over here, but see the explosive, there are chances of explosive move. Okay, so this is how you should avoid this. Now coming to other signals also, like this one, this signal. So let us select this bar, and okay, here what do you see? This signal, we see everything is negative. Now to be very logical, if this signal has to be a buy, we should actually cross this up. Okay, this line. So let's see. Yeah, there is a signal over here. Now we are to be smart buyer. Let's first make the signal go, and the moment it closes or breaches this these two liquidity lines, so it will be all positive for us. And okay, so at this point this is green, and it has breached these two lines of liquidity, and this has become a valid signal over here. Now you can enter at this point and trail the markets till you see a divergence forming, or till you see a cross under over here. So till when we should trail? So it's going fairly, fairly. Also, let's go through one more signal, which is this one. This signal is a short signal on the OCS AI Trader. On the liquidity chart, what do we see? We see, okay, number one, this band is red. Number two, this liquidity line is red. And number three, it has closed below everything. So it's a very valid signal. Okay, so how would we trade? We would take this trade, and you see, we have uh, maintained or gained a lot of targets over here, right? Okay, so let's analyze one more signal, which is this signal. This is a long signal, okay, on the OCS AI trend. Now, what does the liquidity say? Liquidity lines are negative, right? This is the red liquidity line, and this is red liquidity band over here at the signal point, and this one is buying liquidity below the signal. So two out of three is negative, and but this is slightly in moving sense, because it has breached this red line, right? You see this, it has breached the red line, so it may go to test this resistance band, okay, resistance liquidity, and it did so. But it's a low probability signal. Why? Because after that it gives a negative short. One of the best things that you can do is to scalp. Okay, so scalp using liquidity. Now liquidity is made for scalping, investing, what not, but the scalping factor in liquidity is too great. Let's say, how would you do it? Now there is a sell signal on 1 hour chart, and you are trading on 20 minutes, let's say. Now on 1 hour there is a sell signal, which is over here, this candle, and this is the start of the new candle, so we have put a line over here. So this on 20 minutes would look something like this. Now now when to be more in trade is like when every liquidity comes. Okay, so here everything is negative. Okay, the band is negative, all the liquidity lines are negative, and prices have retraced back to this line for a supply, and the huge supply happens, and you can estimate and optimize your positions from this side, and it goes down. Same thing happened. The bias on a higher time frame, that is 1 hour, is negative, that is short. And every time we see opportunity of this touching the liquidity line or any resistance, we short. Okay, so this is how it works. One more example of analysis using liquidity on same time frame. So suppose a gold 5 minute chart, there is a signal over here. This is a long signal. Now on 5 minutes liquidity chart of gold, it is undecided, because gray or yellow colors being shown in liquidity is undetermined, so there is a confusion in the market, so you should avoid this signal, right? So even if this signal have matured, this has given a low probability trade, and the trade has reversed. Okay, so this is how you should avoid false positive signals in the OCS AI trader liquidity setups. Now for understanding this liquidity real-time liquidity lines and cycle, it's a very vast topic because it involves a lot of divergences, a lot of things to actually to actually keep looking at it. Other thing is like liquidity can be amalgamated with multiple time frames, and under using it for multiple time frames, you'll get a very optimal result. You just try to experiment with it. This part of the liquidity cycle is used to actually look for the divergences, and these can be optimized to take early entries. And that's a very advanced topic, but I'll try to touch it in this video. So what do you see over here? So we see there is a drop in liquidity, and we see the prices have retested and making a double top over here. So let me just put a brush to it. Okay, so what do you see? We see prices making double top pattern over here, and the liquidity is decreasing, right? So liquidity, since it is decreasing and the prices are making double top sort of a pattern, so this makes this signal a good probability scalp. Okay, so that's how you should use this liquidity tracker cycle. Now there are lots of things involved inside a liquidity cycle. This is a very fairly very advanced topic, and it requires at least spending of let's say around 20-30 hours to actually get to the point to it. There is a vast thing surrounding liquidity is real time. Okay, so it has to be very pinpoint and it has to be very perfect, and it's that's why it gives very perfect analysis. So hope this video made some parts of liquidity tracker clear to all of you, and I will try to put a lot of videos regarding liquidities and regarding the signal generation aspects in coming weeks. Okay, so thanks for staying.